The US military should prepare for war, not defence, in order to secure peace. That was the message to America's top military commanders from Defence Secretary Pete Hegseth at an unprecedented gathering of top military leaders in Virginia today. He urged them to concentrate on core military skills and forget about political correctness, saying they worked for the Department of War, not the Department of Woke.
America's top brass, an extraordinarily rare gathering of admirals and generals brought together to hear their new mission. No more fatties.
It's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops.
It was indicative of a bigger change the Secretary and his President want to see.
You kill people and break things for a living. You are not politically correct.
Mr. Hegseth told them it's the Department of War now, not the Department of Woke.
No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris.
And one of his own pet projects, a single strength and fitness standard for men and women in the Army.
But when it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards must be high and gender neutral. If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is. If that means no women qualify for some combat jobs, so be it.
The Commander-in-Chief himself delivered a long, rambling, campaign-type speech with nothing new in it.
Together over the next few years, we're going to make our military stronger, tougher, faster, fiercer, and more powerful than it has ever been before.
Generals and admirals had literally flown halfway around the earth for this.
Well, let's stick with Washington and we'll speak to Sean now. And Sean, and something else looming there, a potential shutdown of the federal government operations. Explain to us what may or may not happen in the coming hours.
Right, well, in about 7.5 hours' time, the US government is going to shut down because it'll have run out of money. And the reason why it's run out of money is that the Congress hasn't voted an annual budget through in order to make the appropriation of taxpayers' money and the spending of that money by government departments legal. In other words, it's like the annual budget that we do in Ireland. It has to be voted through by the Dáil, the people's representatives, to make it legal for the government to spend money. That has not happened, and it hasn't happened because there's a row between the Democrats and the Republicans over health spending in America. If you recall, the president's one big beautiful bill that was passed through in the summer, it legislated his program for the next several years. It included very large cuts to medical expenditures by the government here. The Democrats say that's going to affect the viability of a lot of rural hospitals, and it'll also make health insurance, which is already incredibly expensive here, even more expensive, particularly for poor and hard-pressed working families. They have decided to make a stand on this issue now by withholding their support for the annual finance bill that is needed, and that is where the standoff lies. The president met with congressional leaders yesterday. They had a big row in the White House. Nothing got resolved. There's another attempt to vote this in the Senate right now. The president is, as we speak, trying to address them to get this one through, but as it stands now, government is running out of money. There will be a shutdown, and large parts of the US government simply will not be there tomorrow morning. Ray?
My goodness. OK, Sean, thank you.